So, in this nightly hour, as my friends are asleep, apart from some shadow witches running around in the eidolon of the dead, I'd like to focus on the rhetorical issues of meta-rhetorics and rhetorics. So this is the Handbook of Classical Rhetoric in the Hellenistic Period, edited by Stanley E. Porter. And I would like to read an introduction from it, which is quite a mighty affair, I must say. Because not many people nowadays study rhetoric, at least to say they use it, or combine it with the art of memory, ars memorativa, in order to know how to arrange, invent, how to stylize and deliver the speeches taken from the catalogues and the artifacts of the imagination in order to convey it well in the smooth snowflake-like style of Odysseus, or the more tense and harsh of Tiresias. Let us read. What is rhetoric? The Greek word Rhetorica first occurs in Plato's Gorgias, probably written in the second decade of the 4th century before modern era. The term is used by Socrates and accepted without protest by the sophist Gorgias and his follower Polus to describe a techne, or art of public speaking, which Gorgias practiced and taught to others, and about which Polus has published some written work. Now, a definition of rhetoric as pathos, demiurgos, the worker of persuasion, was strictly political. Peito, of course, the goddess of eloquence and restraint in speaking, because to be a good speaker you need to be restrained. You don't disperse information left and right like a child babbling about everything. You need to know exactly from the arsenal of your knowledge and information which to pick, suited for the audience, in order to influence them in any way. As a side note, this lecture is not rhetorical at all. It is more about a performance. So, what is called rhetoric, the usual view, has been that the term was current, if not at the dramatic date of the dialogue in the last quarter of the 5th century, at least by the time of its composition. The word rhetorica does not occur, however, in any surviving 5th century Greek text. A more common term in the 5th and 4th centuries was technologon, the art of word, speech or discourse. It has been argued that Plato coined rhetoric, which might be thought to have some negative connotations because of its derivation from a rhetor, speaker, often implying a politician, someone who wants to persuade you, influence you, or influence is amoral. Yet we need to till the fields and influence before we are subject to the influence of millions that were influenced in turn by those who were applying the rhetorical persuasions on politicians. It's a notion of freedom and all that. So, then Corax, and of course Rhetorica ad Herennium by Cicero. So in Rhetorica ad Herennium, this is a term, a book assigned most likely to Cicero, although this is debated. The function of an orator is to be able to speak on those matters that have been fixed by law and custom for civic purpose, and to secure as far as possible the assent of the audience. So, common knowledge, also the spans and the scopes of the speech, what is allowed in a given society, by eliminating the extremes and moderating the middle in some way in order to influence. We compartmentalize information. If we are in the intelligence discourse or governmental discourse, we don't put such information out to the public because it would be a mess. Then again, if we are individuals that possess certain capacity towards knowledge, we may not speak about it to everyone and everywhere, because that would be pure nonsense. At best, we would be mocked or ignored. At worst, we would be contained or consigned to a psychiatric institution. So, I'd like to give a brief survey here on the Greek and Latin styles, the rhetorical schools. So, what are the primal parts of a rhetorical speech? So let's deal with book 1 and 2 from Aristotle. That calls the first, it starts with dianoia, or the thought, whether inspired by protonoia or pronoia, or the muses, or the gods, or the agathos daimons, does not matter, although it is benevolent if it is. Or it comes from our own mind, our autonomy, our authority, our ability to employ our experiences and our knowledge in order to deliver a speech. So we form our thoughts, dianoia. It is also called euresis or inventio. So we invent certain things, we invent the things we are about to say. Before we say it, before we speak, modern people often forget that you don't speak about everything you think about. You think before you speak, and this shape masterly yourself and your audience. Now, the lexis, elocutio, or style, and taxis, divisio, or arrangement, how to arrange a robust discussion, how to arrange a light and beautiful discussion, how to arrange it with style. Then the fourth part is called hypocrisis, actio, or delivery. How do we deliver our speech? How I'm delivering my speech right now. I thought about it, I invented it, I arranged it, I decided for the style and delivery, for the performance with the cigarette and the hat, and hence I'm delivering the speech. Then the pistes, so means of persuasion, atechnoi, non-artistic persuasion, antechnoi, or very artistic persuasion, so to say. And there is one thing that here every speech denotes a character. We need to be good actors in that, in order to deliver a profound or a quite nonsensical speech, which is the ethos, the character of a person who speaks. They say that the benedicent, the art of speaking well, belongs to people who are good-natured, and then they may persuade others. Because if the speaker would be evil, according to the Book of Changes, for example, a good speaker is met with concord and appraisal at the distance of 10,000 miles away. Now, an evil speaker, a malignant speaker, his tongue is cut short at the moment the words are uttered. Now, I've said many words with my logoi, or logos, and I was taught quickly that many words may be abused and your tongue is cut out. At the same time, words are not made for cowards. They might be used to commandeer the invisible forces. So next time you speak something, open the ether. When you complain, you cry and put your woes and happiness and joys upon the air people used to sing in the past. You are listened by many miraculous beings. It's not just immortal communication, you just need to find the right language with them. Anyway, I'm making this short speech in order to convince people to rhetorics. Because you may speak beautifully, you may speak well, you may put your heart, your soul, your mind into it, your spirit into it, just in order to walk through aletheia, through truth, mnemosyne, memory, through beauty, through all the virtues and muses that are long forgotten, yet not laid to waste, because they're immortal. It's just that humans turned away from them. And they're no longer claiming to be inspired. Thank you.